have much of a chance. And that coach went back about half defeated. Well, the night came. They arrived at the stadium a little late because their old broken down school bus, the engine had just quit and they had to fix it along the way. And now get the picture. As they approached the parking lot, they saw that the other team had gotten there a little ahead of them. This coach of this other team had decided he was going to engage in a little one-upsmanship, a little gamesmanship. And what they were going to do is they were going to psych those poor little black players out. And so he lined his team up across the parking lot in perfect order. And those big old boys with white jerseys and gold letters, green numbers, beautiful new helmets gleaming there in the stadium lights, man, he said they looked like Notre Dame lined up there in perfect rows. And they formed an entrance line for the bus. And the coach of those poor little black players told the bus driver, said, wait a minute, pull over to the other side of the road. We're not going in there yet. And he walked back through the bus. He said he doesn't know where he got the intelligence to do this, but he walked back through the bus and he said, now, gentlemen, listen to me, please. I'm not telling you what to do here, gentlemen. I'm not giving you an order. I'm not speaking to you as a teacher or a coach. I'm just explaining the situation for you. These guys lined up across this parking lot, but they're not here to greet you as an honor guard. They're trying to psych you out. They want you to know that they think you are just so much ghetto trash. And so they're putting you down with their big, glitzy, gleaming uniforms and standing there like Notre Dame. I don't know what kind of response you want to make to that, gentlemen, but I just want you to understand the situation. Well, it was sort of like yelling, kill, to a bulldog. That coach says he still didn't know how those young men knew what to do. That they never took time to discuss it. But with one mind, they all sprang to the side of the bus. And they lowered the windows in a most unusual way. They pushed them out with their heads. And they leaned out to their waists. And as they drove slowly by that formation of gleaming football players, they leaned out and banged on the side of the bus, and they said, we're going to eat you, we're going to eat you, And I'll tell you what, all the way down the line, the coach looked into the faces of what now seemed to be little bitty white boys, and he said to himself, we got them now. And as they came to number 10, the pride of the team, the biggest football player this man had ever seen in his life, coach looked into his eyes, and the coach said, I could read his mind. His eyes said, those black boys got knives in their socks, and we're going to die tonight if we get anywhere close to them. That white coach said, he and that team that God gave him won 47-0 that night. They won the game before the referee ever showed up. They won the game before they ever turned the lights on the playing field. They won that game in the parking lot where it needed to be won. Now, you need to understand that from the other perspective. There are a lot of you who thought that Satan's got these big, powerful demons, and you're just so intimidated by them, and you have been losing in the parking lot. You lose before the battle begins. Satan comes in, he intimidates you, and you fall apart right there in the parking lot. You get mocked, you get reminded of the past, you get drugged down by bondage and enemies that Christ has already defeated. Your victory has already been won. When Satan comes at you trying to defeat you, You stand up on your hind legs like a man and throw the blood in his eye. Listen, you can live discouraged lives if you want to. You can be a lost man crawling on your way to hell if you want to. You can live, kids, listen to me. You can live subject to the powers of cocaine and alcoholism, the bondage of lust and fear, and all of the things that want to attack you and drag you down. You can live that way, but let me tell you something. If you do it, you're going to have to crawl past the cross of Jesus Christ. You're going to have to crawl past an empty tomb. You're going to have to crawl past the triumphant announcement of the Church of Jesus Christ that has never been put to death and has never lost the battle. Every gospel message, you're going to have to crawl past it. You're going to have to crawl out into the street and submit yourself to powers and authorities of darkness that are already in chains behind the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Now listen, the invitation is simple. Don't miss this invitation. Look right here. Right here. We have taken an attitude of begging people to get saved. I don't think the Church of Jesus Christ needs to beg people to get saved. I think if you stop and think about it, the world has played you for a jerk. If you have to crawl past the cross, if you have to crawl past the churches on the corner, I'm going to tell you something. There may be some churches that aren't real alive, but they're more alive than any dead man in a tomb, and there's no dead man in a tomb to whom they have ever built that many mausoleums anywhere in the universe. He's alive. Kids, listen to me. Don't be jerks. Don't settle for what the world has told you. They'll tell you, look at those stupid Christians. I don't think it's stupid that on Resurrection Day, I'm going to meet Jesus Christ in the air. I don't think it's stupid that I can live in freedom. I don't think it's stupid that I can live without fear, but I tell you what's stupid. It is stupid to run out and fall on your knees before defeated foes and say, take me. I'm going to pass up salvation. That is stupid. Stand with me, would you? Now listen. I gave the invitation at the very first of the service. I want to do just one thing. Look right here. Not even going to ask you to bow your heads. Not going to ask you to close your eyes. If you've never given your life to Jesus Christ, you can give your life to Jesus Christ right now. You can pray a prayer just like I'm going to pray, and you can mean it. You can step out. You can say, I'm going to stand for Jesus, and you can be saved tonight. I'm going to ask you, don't you let anything stand behind you, stand in front of you, stand beside you, but you step out for Jesus Christ. Now, if you've never